We're here with Robert, who is one of the most memorable participants in the program. Robert? Hey, Dan Abrams.
Dan? Mr. Robert.
Sit, please. Now, because of Robert's attitude during training, Tammy and Zach had their doubts about him completing the program. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Yes. How big is a TV screen in the day room?
It is a 60-inch.
60-inch?
60-inch flat screen.
Oh, thank you, taxpayers.
What do you think about some of the questions that Robert's asking, Zach?
Some of the questions he's asking are, I think, not serious.
Like we say, you know, he's a smoking joke right now, but it's...
I think reality will come in once you're put in handcuffs.
I'm kind of scared for you.
Now, I understand that you guys actually had a bet about Robert,
Yes, we did.
which was?
I bet him to not last more than 3 weeks. Tammy gave him the benefit of the doubt,
Which was a generous 5 weeks.
and we're kind of excited to see how that played out.
Robert, how do you feel about the fact that they doubted you from the beginning?
I don't care if people doubt me. I could bale hay with the best of them, and there is not absolutely any quit in me. So anyone who questions my toughness, well, you're wrong.
Robert, Tammy, and Zach don't know what happened to you. Why don't you give them a quick summary?
Yeah, I went to segregation. I was sick, and I was forced to drop out after 5 weeks. You in the bed.
So how did things, do you think, go for you with regard to other inmates? Because both Zach and Tammy were concerned about how you would get along with them.
Well, check out this handsome face, still intact.
So the fact that you survived alive means that it went well with them?
The visuals speak for themselves that I didn't have any problems with inmates.
We're going to show you Robert's journey that led him to segregation. And Robert, you're going to hear for the first time what the inmates were actually saying about you.
Oh, this is going to be real good.
Who is that? Boy, I need to sit his goofy ass down somewhere.
Did you get the NFL Network here?
Yeah. That came here to ask if we got the NFL Network.
Too much doesn't add up.
Yeah. Clean cut, no tattoos. He's one of them.
Just gotta show him who's boss.
So let's I'm hitting it.
Hey. You. Hey. You ain't supposed to cover it up, bro.
They gonna trip out on you.
Robert, after seeing the footage
Yes.
and seeing what the inmates were saying about you, does it change your perspective on how they viewed you?
No, because I knew there was a little tension there from some of those guys. I took off my jump suit and kind of tied it around my waist because I'm a pretty big guy. Because I thought that there's some guys out there that may want to fight me, and I use that just in case. It's kind of like, well, if they did want to fight me, at least it looks like I'm in shape.
Zach, any thoughts on Robert's behavior?
There are a lot of thoughts that I have.
Bring them on.
Probably not a whole lot that I can really say and maintain my composure. It's very obvious to me that Robert took no thought for anyone else. He didn't take any thought of a larger goal than anything but his own.
You're correct.
And the fact that he's proud of that says all that needs to be said about him and his personality. And as far as how the inmates felt about you in 3D, Robert, when I got moved over there was a lot of talk amongst the inmates about the crazy guy who'd put the towel over the camera and how they all thought he was weird, they thought he was crazy, and if he ever did come back, what they would have done to him.
Do you understand what it was like? Do you understand what I went through in there?
It's your choice.
I understand it was my choice going in, but I went in for a reason.
So did
okay? Yeah, To what? To sit there and laugh and joke and have a good time?
I do
was
that everywhere I go.
incarcerated, Robert.
So was
He
I.
was No, you weren't.
Well, what did I do for 5 weeks?
Okay, 5 weeks. You sat in segregation, which is a
very
ride.
pleasurable.
It's
You're
a
right,
ride. You know
it
what?
is.
I could have done, yeah, by yourself.
I like
Okay,
that.
I had a brutal experience. I fought my entire way through to make it through, to get out, to bring these gentlemen some positive feedback. That's what this is about. This is no laughing matter.
Captain Maples, why do you think he covered up the camera with the towel?
Well, you just watch some footage where, inmates were literally speaking about possibly raping him. And he covered up he was scared.
Allow me to interject here. What the inmates were saying, I didn't hear.
You're exactly right. You didn't hear what the other inmates were saying.
So, in the end, Robert,
Yes.
you did not stay in the program for 60 days. You opted out early. Let's take a look at what happened.
Sure.
Let's see. Yes, sir. Robert, we've got our perspective on segregation we need, but we need you to go back to another section.
Oh, you're gonna need this.
Finishing is so important to me.
I know it is, but your health is very important to us. That's what I think we need to be focused on right now.
This is the single most disappointing day of my entire life. I want to do this so bad.
Seems clear the captain didn't believe that it was a real illness.
Anyone who thinks I'm faking it, one, did they know how much medication I took? What type of medication I took? Make your judgment after you gather the information.
Robert's danced around many questions. When you ask him, he goes off on a tangent to try to lose face of what the question really was.
Of interest, Robert, in the exit, you said you had an undiagnosed illness, and now it was constipation. And when I talked to you in the exit interview, you were holding, said it was all right here, and then it moved in the video to it was back here. It just makes it really suspect, that's all.
Constipation is through here and it could be the back. This was a flank pain caused by severe strain, the doctor said. I eat healthy. Mr. Maple Syrup, you wouldn't understand, but whenever you change your diet, things happen.
Robert, nobody's been rude to you, so I don't think you should use the rude tones that you're using to the captain.
He's calling me out. He doesn't believe me. He's calling me a liar on that.
I'm sorry, but isn't there like X-Lax on commissary, if I'm not
Yes, there
mistaken?
is.
Yeah, there
Thank
is.
you very much.
I'm pretty sure that regardless of what we say, you're going to keep talking in circles, so.
Exactly.
Right.
To be clear, you are saying you wanted to go back to the general population after segregation, correct?
I did say that. I wanted to go back to Pod 3D because, once again, I didn't have problems with guys in Pod 3D.
So while in segregation, Robert, you apparently wrote a letter to Captain Maples.
Yes.
Captain Maples, do you have
Yeah, I do.
the letter with you, and will you read it?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Captain Maples, firstly, I would like to apologize for my mistake in Pod 3D. I am sorry for interfering with the camera. Secondly, I'm requesting to stay in H7 isolation. If you must move me back to general population after 30 days, I understand, as I don't have a choice. I just prefer to maintain a low profile, not cause waves, and be a model inmate. Sincerely, Robert Harris, number 235276.
Yes, I loved the meditation retreat down there for 30 days. It was sheer paradise. I loved it.
I just presented a letter stating I want to stay in segregation. There is all kinds of inconsistencies in his story. I particularly don't feel like arguing with him about it. We didn't receive any valuable information from Robert. I would like to add the fact that I would like to apologize to Zach and Tammy because you guys took this serious, and this is no reflection of what we think of what you did for us. And don't think that he's in the same boat as you guys. He spent 3 overnights in jail.
It's appreciated.
Before he went to segregation, so I want to say thank you to both of you.
Yes, sir.
Because it's a slap in your face. It's a slap in your face.